You remember what the name of this type of functional group is?
An ester.
Good. Good. I've noticed that oftentimes people mistakenly call this an ether, but that's not an ether. An ether would just be two regular carbon chains and an oxygen, but this is an ester. By the way, here, this R has to be a carbon chain. In this particular thing, the R has to be a carbon chain, because if it was an H, what would be the name of this functional group?
Carboxylic acid.
That's right. This would be a carboxylic acid, which is not the same thing as an ester. It's another functional group, so we have to learn another suffix. And the suffix for esters is -ate. The general name for these is going to be alkyl, alkan, -ate. This is the general pattern for naming esters. Alkyl, alkanoate. And we'll see how this works right now. First of all, we need to name the parent chain. Now this is important. The parent chain is the side with the carbonyl. The parent chain is the side with the carbonyl, so this is not the parent chain. Even if, and maybe to make that clear, 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter who's longer. It's not a matter of who's longer. The parent chain has to include the carbonyl.
All right.
So how long is this parent chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be indicated by bute. There's no double bonds, so it's butane. And it's an ester, so it gets the -ate suffix. That's part of the name, butanoate. Okay. But now we still have the difficulty of naming this over here. Well, this is considered like a substituent. This is named as if it were a substituent. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. And here we use an ul suffix, so this would be pentyl. And these are two separate words. So the name for this would be pentyl butanoate. Obviously, this is not something that we could have figured out. We just have to look up what the chemists have chosen as their method. So this is the method they happen to have chosen in IUPAC for naming esters.
Okay.
So hopefully now it's clear what I meant when I said that this is the general pattern. I think in the other videos you saw that it's always important to identify the L group here. So who's the L group for an ester? Who's the L group here?
The OR.
Right. So notice that the alkyl names the L group, and then this names the portion that contains the carbonyl. Again, it doesn't matter who's longer. This part of the name is the part with the carbonyl, and then this is the L group, the OR group. And it just so happens that's named with an ul suffix, and then the main chain is named with an -ate suffix. So this would be pentyl butanoate. Let's try naming this.
Butylpentanate, pentanate.
Sounds good. I just kind of shifted the position of the two carbon chains. Now the main chain has 5 carbons, that's pent. No double bonds means an, and it's an ester, so it's -ate. And then we name the L group out in front as butyl. That's right, butyl pentanoate. this one.
Propylpropanoate.
Right. Might seem a little weird that we have two propes, but that's the way we have to name it. So it's propylpropanoate. That's right. Let's try this.
Ethanoate, but I'm assuming there might be a common name for it.
What was the IUPAC name again?
Ethanoate.
Right. Ethanoate. Good. Again, there's two carbon chains on both sides. Okay. And you're right, we might try to name this in a common system. Well, what's the common root for two carbons? Acid. So the way the lecture notes did this, they just used the common root over here.
Okay.
Now, what's the suffix? One thing that we've seen that's frustrating is oftentimes the common suffix is a little bit different from the IUPAC suffix as well. The common system would not call this acetoate. It's just not conventional to call this acetoate. It's just called acetate. That's a word you might have already seen in some of the other videos. So besides changing the root here, we also changed the suffix a little bit. So this would be ethyl acetate. That's the way it was written in your lecture notes. It seems to me like it might also be acceptable to use a common root over here. Instead of ethyl, we could call this acetyl, and then it would be acetyl acetate. Seems to me like that would be fine as well. Now, what if you have multiple functional groups? Want to do this? Yeah, yes. Let's start by naming the parent chain. This is still the parent chain, and we still start the numbering over here. But we have to decide who's going to get the suffix. Is it going to be the alcohol that gets the suffix or the ester? That is, we have to decide who the principal functional group is. I might have mentioned in the other video series that generally the more oxidized group gets the suffix. That is, the group with more bonds to oxygen. So who should be the principal group here, the alcohol or the ester?
The ester.
Because it has 3 bonds to oxygen where this only has 1 bond. So the ester is going to be named as the principal functional group. So this would be propanoate as a first step, propanoate. Now we have to name this alcohol group. Since it's not the principal group, this is going to be named as a prefix. So, of course, you probably know that the suffix for alcohols is OL, but we're not going to be able to use OL suffix because we already put the suffix onto the ester. So now we have to name this as a prefix. we need to know what the prefix for alcohols is. You might have seen that in that other video series. What's the prefix that we use for alcohols? Hydroxy, that's right. And we have to say where it is, because it could have been on the number 2 or the number 3. So this would be 2-hydroxypropanoate, all one word so far. So far, we're still just naming the main chain.
Correct.
2-hydroxypropanoate. So this is what we do when there's a substituent on the main chain, 2-hydroxypropanoate. And we still need to name the L group over here as the alkyl group. And that is conventional to name as a separate word.
Okay.
The space here indicates that this is the separate L group. So this would be methyl 2-hydroxypropanoate. So your instructor did give you some examples with multiple functional groups, and this is how you deal with it. If there's multiple functional groups, you have to decide which group gets the suffix, and it's the one that's the more oxidized, and then what the other group that's left has to get a prefix. So you need to have memorized what the prefix is.